I'd like to call your attention to a graph that we just received today. This was a survey that was on morale. It was given when we first got to school on the first day. And if you look at page 2, you can see in the middle of the page, where it says choose 3 goals that you believe should be the institution's top priorities, your first priority. And as you can see, at letter I, improve employee morale, 113 people put that as their first priority, and no other areas were even close. In the second priority, 38 were. And if you'll jump over to the third page, it shows in the middle of the page, first, second, and third priorities added together. In that column, you can see that the very number 1 goal for each of us is to improve employee morale. 210 people voted for in their first, second, third priority, and that's by far the highest area. So we've been taking these surveys for 2 years, and it still shows that we need to work on morale. Thought that was timely that it came today. I sent out an email to the faculty, and I said, if you have specifics about why your morale is low, please tell me, and I will present it to the board. So I put all of these together, and it's one email after another. First person says, I appreciate the fact that you are willing to talk about the morale issues affecting our campus. While I would love to express my feelings and my experiences regarding this issue, I very sadly say that I am afraid of the consequences that this would bring me. I feel that retribution has been taking place at LCCC during the last 2.5 years. I don't dare to be more specific because I feel that I could lose my job if I tell the truth. I've already seen people disappear from campus after they spoke their mind. This sad reality is affecting our work and the students too. Second person. I would like to bring up the student-faculty ratio. We have the highest student-faculty ratio in the state, thus the worst in the state. This directly affects student learning because each of us has a limited number of hours to spend on each student. This results in each student getting less individual attention. Additionally, many of us continually teach overloads. I see these factors coming together, each reducing every student's piece of the educational pie. Instructors are required to teach more students and teach more credits. We don't know, what I don't know is whether the problem is coming from loading too many students into classes or loading too many classes onto instructors, or both. Are we balancing the budget on the back of the faculty? Third person, we are overworked. With a huge increase in student enrollment, there hasn't been an increase in faculty to serve these students. Enough of an increase. We are working long hours and we're getting severe cases of burnout. Burnout is very closely related to low morale when there is no end or relief in sight. On the other hand, there seem to be plenty of new administrators and lawyers. The fourth person. I am personally furious about the loss of our VP of Instructional Technology. Michael Walters was the major person responsible for our college being #1 in technology in the nation for 3 years in a row. He handled everything we asked of him so quickly and so completely. What was his reward for being so amazing? He was demoted and his salary cut so drastically that he was forced to leave. I'm still in mourning. Fifth person. We have 4 new deans who didn't even have to go through the application process. They received direct appointment. Is that legal according to our policies? Also, after the firing of Dr. Cook, we had applications for his replacement. The people who were chosen for interviews included a woman Dr. Hammond knew personally and whom we called and requested to apply. In feedback from the student interview, the faculty interview, and the interview on the Albany campus, the strong response from all groups was that they strongly favored several of the opponents. I may leave some of these out, but you can read it. The feedback was ignored from all groups, and the person who did not receive the highest votes in the feedback was selected to be the VP for Student Services. One of the things that this letter mentions is that when this VP for Student Services was asked, what would you do to improve relations with the students? The response was that that wouldn't be part of the job. All groups felt that they put in their time and effort to go to the interviews and fill out the feedback forms, and that they were completely disregarded. That seriously lowered the morale of each of these groups. The sixth person, actually this was from a whole department, Student Services. There was a cluster of remarks. There have been 8 reorganizations in Student Services in 2 years. Many people there don't even know what their title is or what the rate of pay is. So much confusion for these employees results in low morale. People were promoted in this division based on favoritism, not on ability. Even after Dr. Cook was fired, these promotions were still maintained. In Student Services, there is an exclusive leadership team that gets training and information but doesn't seem to bring back anything to share with us. We're not asked for input on decisions, so we don't feel valued. When something happens with a student, for example, a student is racially profiled by security and pulled out of a class because he's black, the student's complaint is completely ignored and we don't deal with the student. Instead, we make a plan to write a new policy around it. When dealing with student athletics, we are told that the mistreatment of students is normal and that they don't need to play if they can't handle the treatment. We have a feeling of helplessness in advocating for students because there's always a logical explanation for mistreatment, and there is no one hired to take issues to because it's not in the chain of command. If you question a decision made by a team, you are reproached for going over their heads. This gives us a feeling of hopelessness. There is a Student Services mantra of overworked and understaffed, and this is given as a reason for not getting work done. We have a new VP whose focus is numbers and charts instead of student success and involvement. The result is losing personal touch with students in favor of more processing and less activities. There's complete apathy where student involvement is concerned. No one is encouraged to attend events on campus because we must always be manning the phones, being in the office, make sure we don't miss lunch hour, etc. There's a constant turmoil in regard to office space. So many reworking of plans leaves people up in the air. We have people in closets, in storage rooms, and all over the campus. There is a lack of any feeling of community or appreciation in this department. We used to have staff appreciation days and recognition. Now nothing. We have a supervisor who takes the side of anyone and everyone over the staff. This makes us feel that we have to prove our side rather than feeling supported and trusted and understood and valued. There is an intense lack of human interaction. We can't sit down and have a conversation. Now everything has to go through email, so everything will be documented. Extremely impersonal. Our morale plummeted. So now I'm out of Student Services. That was all Student Services.